What is up, legends? God! It's Mark here. We are going to be talking about 5 steps that I took to 5x my income in 12 months. And these are all steps you can take yourself, 100%. I think this is probably some of the most valuable content I can put out for the right person. There's a point in time where I was making good money. Like I was well above 10K a month. And you kind of reach this initial level of like, okay, kind of know what I'm doing in the tiniest little bit. But getting that to 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month plus is a whole nother fucking can of worms. Whole nother box of frogs, all right? And we're gonna open that fucking box right now. So let's do it. Now, a lot of people will kind of tell you the same thing when it comes to increasing your income, but this is quite literally exactly what I did. This is not like fucking theory. This is like literally exactly what I did. And if I were to go back and tell myself when I was younger, before I was making any money, and I wanted to make more money, these are basically the 5 things that I would tell myself. And honestly, I don't care if you're making $0 a fucking month or $100,000 a fucking month. It doesn't really matter. You can use this at any fucking stage. The first kind of principle that I used to my benefit to make more money was a little thing called environment. Now look, as much as you want to claim that you're your own independent person and you have full agency over your decisions, you don't really succumb to the crowd. Well, it's a fucking lie. At some level, you do. We're social creatures. And the old fucking quote is very true. You're an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. But that quote, I think it was originally come up with by Jim Rohn. Think about when Jim Rohn made that quote. Jim Rohn was like one of the most successful self-development coaches, the 60s, 70s, 80s. Like he's an OG. He's not even alive anymore. Now we have a little thing called the internet. One of the things that I did to increase my income was change my environment, but this goes in like a bunch of different ways. So I need you to stick with me, okay? The first way is your literal physical environment. Now this is by far the most powerful. So what I did, number 1, I moved away from home. This is such a crucial fucking thing for anybody watching this video right now. A lot of times you cannot become the man or woman that you really want to become if you're always surrounded by the same people that you grew up with. At some point, you have to move the fuck on and you have to start the hero's journey, the actual development of the hero's journey, right? This concept created by Joseph Campbell. It's the model of stories that is created around every amazing story ever created in fucking history. You look at Lord of the Rings, you look at The Hobbit, you look at Star Wars. They literally embody the hero's journey to the fucking T. So what does that mean? That means for you, number 1, you got to get away from home, bro. You got to get away from home. And a lot of times it's not going to be best thing for the family in a lot of cases, like your family or your friends. They want to be around you. You probably have good relationship with them, but at some point you have to choose, is it comfort that you're after or growth? Because you cannot fucking have both. Growth only happens by definition outside of your fucking comfort zone. So if you really want to make the money you want to make, how do you expect to make it when you're surrounded by the same people, eating the same food, thinking the same thoughts? You're stuck in routine and you have to get the fuck out of it physically, like literally move to a new place. When I was in high school, I was raised in like a really small town, and most of the people that went to high school, they were looking at going to college, and obviously so was I. The majority of people were staying in state. So I was raised in Colorado. Everybody was looking to go to college in Colorado too. And it was like one of my most important criteria for like selecting a college. I did not want to stay in state. I want to get the fuck out of here. Colorado's a beautiful place to be, right? But I did not want to have the option that I could just like go home whenever I wanted. I wanted to remove that, and I wanted to physically be in a new location with new people, new cultures, new. That's not comfortable. That's discomfort. And that's where you grow. So the number 1 thing that I did is I moved to Miami. Say what you want to about Miami. People talk about the Miami effect where you move here and you just immediately start making more money. There's a lot of reasons behind that, right? And I can go into that if you guys are interested. But for a lot of people, it's very fucking true. Very fucking true. And I think it's literally just because you're constantly exposed to wealth. Now, most people, are they faking it? Probably. Definitely, actually. But you just walk outside and you're just exposed to massive amounts of wealth. Even buying like the simplest things, it's fucking expensive. This is not a cheap city to fucking live in. So physically moving to a new location is huge. But like I said, that quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, that is both physical and also digital. And so what I mean by digital is most of us probably watching this are chronically online. There is a huge benefit in that because some of the most successful people that I'm connected with, I haven't even met them in person. Some of them I have, but some of them I have not. And I just met them online by joining communities, joining masterminds, just talking with people, just surrounding yourself with people who are on the same mission as you is so incredibly powerful. Physical is the best way to do it. If you can physically physically move in with people that are fucking hungry, that got that fucking dog in them, bro, then I promise you, you're just gonna move so much faster towards your goals because you're constantly being reminded of what you don't have. I actually moved in with people that were making more money than me. So as soon as I get there, the way that they act is different. The way that they think about money is different. And all these limiting beliefs that I have in my head are just like vaporized right in front of me because the relationship with money is completely different. So this is the first thing, the environment, right? And you can control it physically, which is obviously better, digitally, or if you're real fucking Chad, you're gonna do both. You're gonna develop relationships digitally and physically. Now, typically, like the best way to do this, in my opinion, is actually to start digital, build relationships with people. They don't have to be like fucking billionaires, obviously, but even if you're making like 10K a month and they're making like 20, cool, that's a gap right there. That immediately just gonna drag you upwards to their level. So start digital, build a relationship, and then try to fucking move in with each other. When I was living with other people, I'll look back, man, those are some of the best years of my fucking life. Guaranteed. It's like how most people look back on college or university, like, oh yeah, those were the good old days. Like that was the best time of my life. I feel that way about when I was living with my friends, that we're all on the same mission, trying to get better, trying to get in shape, just trying to grow and constantly push each other. This is so fucking special, man. I can't even tell you. So this is the first step that I took to 5x my income, all right? Step number 2 that I took here, it's a little bit less tactical, but I promise this is one of the most valuable ones actually on this list. And it's a little word called obsession. I love this fucking word, man. I have spent a lot of time decoding really, really successful people that I really look up to. And they all have this fucking obsession with learning about their craft. Whatever their craft is, they are literally just fucking obsessed with it. I don't even want to say it's borderline a problem. It is a fucking problem. It is a fucking problem. And that's what I noticed with these ultra high performers. The very thing that makes them high performers is also their biggest Achilles heel. Their inability to turn off their fucking brain because they're so obsessed. That's going to cause issues. But it's also the sole reason that they made it to where they are in the first place. And for me, that is a trade-off that I'm willing to make. My relationship with work and with like marketing, with direct response, with copy, with AI, it's not borderline obsessive. It is fucking obsessive. I would rather do that than just about anything else. But if there's a time for you to be obsessive about something, it's fucking right now. There has never been a better time. I actually feel fucking so blessed and grateful to be able to be obsessed about the things that I'm obsessed about right now. To be able to exist in this amazing age of information and technology and such access to incredible resources like artificial intelligence. Like it's fucking crazy. But the cool thing about obsession, guys, is when you're obsessed, success is just a byproduct. So most people, they set these goals. They're like, I want to make 10K a month, I want to make 50K a month, I want to make 100K a month, I want to make 500K a month. But when you're obsessive, when you have obsession, you just accomplish those goals as a byproduct. I'm at the point now where I don't even really set income goals for myself. I don't. And honestly, I think I probably should have stopped that. I remember when I was fucking broke as all hell, I was working on one of my brands and it was in a period of decline. Like I was not making good money and it got to a point where I was actually losing money. And I would set a goal for like the next month and I'd be like, I'm going to make $50,000 in profit in my brand. And at the time, I was losing money. So to go from losing money to 50K a month in profit, every single time I did this, and I set that very, very clear goal, specifically around money, my success rate of achieving those goals was so incredibly low. But with obsession, on the contrary, with obsession, if you create goals around the process, things that are actually within your control, and you make them so incredibly ridiculously high that the volume will negate luck and you'll just achieve the goal as a byproduct. For example, let's say I actually did want to get to, I mean, we're way past that, but let's say I wanted to get to like 50K a month in profit in my brand. We did like maybe 5K or 10K last month as an example, right? And I wanted to get to 50. My goal would be to identify the one thing that is going to get me closest to that and then create an input-based goal, something that is within my control, that is so absurd that if I just do those inputs, it would be so unreasonable for me to not make 50 G's. Obviously, I'm a fucking run more ads guy, right? Let's say that if I were to test 300 new creatives and 300 new ad copies in a single month, and I didn't make 50 grand in profit, that would be extremely unreasonable. But that's something I can actually control. I can't control if I'm gonna make 50K. I mean, indirectly, of course, but not directly. I can't just make 50K. I have to do something before that makes the money for me, right? So if I were to test that many fucking ads in a short period of time, it would be so unreasonable for me to not be successful. So the second principle is obsession. And this is the thing that you can break all the rules. You can fucking bend reality to your will because you are obsessed. Because a little secret, while everybody else is worried about the other O word, optimization, the perfect productivity fucking routine, the perfect morning routine, the perfect late night routine. If I compare that person to the obsessed person, which one is gonna fucking win? It's the obsessed one every single fucking time. It's one of the most valuable things that you curate. Now, the important thing is that with obsession, you can't fake obsession. It's something that you have to build and create within yourself. And what I mean by that is most people say, oh, you need to find your passion. Just find your passion, bro, and it'll never feel like you're working. Passions, obsessions, they are not found, they are created. Most obsessions just start with a simple curiosity that you have about something. So for me, I was actually really curious about mixing like human psychology and why people make decisions with the internet. And then I got like internet marketing. That was the perfect obsession for me. But it's the kind of thing where I could just learn about that for hours upon hours upon hours. And you just feel the sense like the time is just flying by. That's the feeling that you should ultimately be after, because if you compare somebody who's obsessed, like I said, obsessed people, it just feels like you're in this ultimate fucking playground. That's legitimately how I feel about the work that I do. And it's only because of this word. If I felt any other way and I'm just trying to fucking muscle my way through everything, I would probably legitimately burn out. But I work more hours than almost anybody that I fucking know. I have never been burnt out. Not once. How is that possible? It's because I'm fucking obsessed, bro. And it's because it's coming from an authentic source deep within my soul. Number 3 on the list is cut the safety net. Pretty fucking straightforward. I know the type of person that I am. I'm the type of person that always performs under pressure. When the lights are on, when the pressure's on, that's when I'm at my fucking best. And I actually think that that's the case for most people. Only a small portion of people, when you put a lot of pressure on them, are going to completely crumble. But if you know yourself, then I highly recommend you cut the safety net. Close all the doors. There's no way out. So perfect example of this is back in the days when I was fucking broke as all fuck. I moved out on my own. I wasn't making the money that I should have been making to like comfortably pay my rent. I was like, all right, I have some money in savings. Like I'll be good for at least a few months. In that time frame of a few months, I got to figure out how to make fucking money. And I moved out on my own and I proceeded to lose basically all my fucking money. But right before I actually did lose all my money, I had one of the biggest breakthroughs that I've ever had and actually did see my income fucking skyrocket. You don't succeed when you want to. You succeed when you need to. And a lot of you guys, if you're like just not feeling motivated for whatever reason, you know what's fucking motivating? Fear of getting evicted. How about being homeless? How's that for some fucking motivation? That's pretty fucking motivating, in my opinion. This actually kind of goes back to the point about environment. The point is to craft an environment in which the only way is to succeed. It's like succeed or fucking die trying. That was my mindset. I realized that after eating shit for so fucking long, number one, if I gave up after losing all that fucking money and eating shit for so long, I would have put in all that work for nothing. All that fucking work for nothing. So the next time you come close to quitting, think about that. All that fucking work that you did, all those late nights, all the fucking shit that you tested, all the fucking money that you sent to Zuckerberg, all worthless if you give up. And so I was like, I don't care. I was so desensitized at that point to losing money, which is why now I think I'm relatively like emotionally detached from all the ads that I run, because I've eaten shit a lot. I've lost a lot of money a lot of times. But if you do it all for nothing, like what's the fucking point? So the purpose of this particular point is to put yourself in environments where the only way for you to get out of that environment is to succeed. Put your back against the fucking wall. Put yourself in the corner. No way out. It's just you and the process. And when you do that, as long as you're still taking all the right actions, typically something fucking amazing happens. But again, that kind of comes down to the type of person that you are. If you know yourself and you're like, bro, if I was in the corner, if my back was against the wall, I'd shit myself. If that's you, don't follow number 3. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4, spend more money. This is specifically applicable to people that are making money now, but you're at like a quote unquote low level. So you're making, let's say 8, 10, 20K a month. You got to spend more fucking money, because the thing that most people don't realize about money is that it's a spiritual thing. Money is energy, and energy is spiritual. It's metaphysical. It carries an energy towards it. And if you're the type of person that hoards money, the universe is not going to send you any fucking more, because you don't have that abundance mindset, right? You can talk all the shit that you want about law of attraction, abundance, scarcity, whatever. There is truth to it. I promise you. There is truth to it. I can't explain it, but I do have a good track record of seeing this unfold in my life, in my friends' lives, in my mentors' lives. If you are the type of person that is hoarding your money and saving your money, you still have that scarcity mindset. Most of us have the scarcity mindset that's just baked into us from birth, like from our parents, from society. I'm sure most people in the chat right now did not grow up very wealthy. If you did, good for you. You got that abundance mindset like baked right in. That's great. But most of us didn't. Typically, the mindset that goes around with that is that money is hard to come by. This all comes down to your belief system, guys. I need you to understand this. It comes down to the beliefs that you have about money. If you genuinely believe money is abundant, it flows to you. If you genuinely believe that if you lose money, it's not a big deal because you can just go and make more, then you wouldn't be hoarding your money. You wouldn't be constantly saving your money. You'd be going and spending it on whatever it is that you want to spend it on. Abundance versus scarcity. If you still have that scarcity mindset baked in and you think that after you get to like 10, 20, 30K a month, that you're gonna start hoarding money, you gotta sit down and rewire your fucking brain with empowering beliefs around money. A simple way to do this is just to hold in your mind an image of a millionaire or a multimillionaire or a billionaire even. How do you think they think about money? When they go out to eat and they look at the check, do you think they're analyzing everything on the fucking bill and making sure that they got everything right? Do you think that they're looking at the fucking included 18% gratuity that they have here in Miami? No, they just fucking open the thing, put the fucking card down and close that shit. They don't even look at the fucking number. Just fucking slap the card down, bro, and close it. Or just give the card. That's like small thing, kind of jokey. But like the point is, that's the way that they're thinking. And if millionaires are thinking differently than you, do you think that you making more money and becoming a millionaire is going to happen without it first starting in your mind with your beliefs and your thoughts? Your thoughts precede your actions. So before you can fucking act like a millionaire, you have to start thinking like one. And one of those things happened to be spending more money. And ironically, one of these things for me was actually just fucking buying a car, because I was like, you know what? I'm getting comfortable. I'm going to buy a car. And that was the main reason that I fucking did it. All right, fucking step number 5, all right? Also a very important one when I look back in my journey of making money and increasing my income. And that is pay people smarter than you. I am so incredibly bullish on this. Hormozi calls this the, investing in the S&P 500. But look, guys, it fucking works. It fucking works. They say the best investment you can make is in yourself. That's true, but it's corny. So I'll say the best investment that you can make is in elevating your high income skill set, increasing your earning potential. If you were to take $10,000 and invest that in the stock market, S&P 500, you're going to get 8 to 12% returns year over year. Whoop-de-fucking-do. $1,000 a year. Wow. But if you take $10,000 and invest it in a skill set that can teach you how to make $10,000 a month recurring, that's a 10K payoff per year versus 120K payoff per year. Now, I don't really care which form that you do this in, all right? You can do this in the form of mentorships. You can do this in the form of masterminds. But honestly, this is best for beginners, either like mentorships, masterminds, coaching programs. As long as you do your due diligence and find a good one, these are fantastic options. But if you're kind of past that level, what I like to do is specifically pay operators. I'm looking for very, very, very niche info. So I'm not even going to people that are like AI copywriting legends, that are just so fucking savage with AI copywriting. Because I'm in all the fucking copywriting masterminds out there, a lot of the best ones. But I still think the best information is from the people that are actually doing it themselves day in and day out. And usually that's not like a guru with a massive following. I like to go and find people in other companies that are super deep in the trenches and informally just ask them if I can pay them for their time. What you're doing here is you're trading. You're specifically trading money for XP. You're trading money for fucking experience points. There's somebody else that has tested more than you, that is more experienced than you in a specific field. All you're doing is taking your money and exchanging it for that experience. You're literally just acquiring XP like in a fucking video game. What broke people do is they try to trade time for money. Instead, you use your money as a resource. Time is a non-renewable resource. Money is renewable. You can make more of it. You can lose it. You can make it back. You cannot get back time. Rich people, once again, rich people trade money for experience. Poor people trade time for their money. What should you actually do? Pay people smarter than you. Also, a lot of you guys thinking everything is already on the internet for free. All the information is already out there on the internet for free. If that's what you believe, really not a smart thing to believe, because a lot of the most kept secrets in the fucking world are just between people off of the internet, or it's not published publicly on the internet. Some of the most valuable conversations that I've had is just me and an entrepreneur in a Zoom call, and we're just talking shit. We're just talking shit about what's working best for the brands. I do that at least once a week with guys that are running brands doing $10, $20 million per month. There's a lot of information that is not on the internet. A lot. In fact, the best information. Now, there's a lot of fucking information on the internet for sure. And for beginners, you can get most of what you need. You may not get the best strategy, but you'll get kind of the fundamentals. But that's such a silly belief that a lot of people have. It's just not true whatsoever. This is the 5 things on the list. So again, I'll recap real quick. Once again, these are things that every single person here can do today. Change your environment, become obsessed, cut the safety net, spend more money once you start making it, of course, and pay people smarter than you to increase your earning potential. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great having you here. This was a fun one. I'll see y'all next time.